stencil like that. That's a whale's tail?
Yeah.
Okay. For an outline, you know, that's a pretty good. Yeah. Next is the size. You want it. There's this size, larger, smaller, or
Maybe bigger.
bigger. Okay. See this part? There's the marks. They start here. So from here on over is a good piece for jewelry. So you probably want to have it this thick. So there's a whale's tail, you know, it'll be something like that. Put it on the vise and start to cut. Try to make sure that this is flush with either the vise or this here. So if you get the hacksaw, here, let me see how, see, there's this cut is going this way on this part. So you have to concentrate. If you look at the line of sight and just, so, now for protection, I always use gloves. You get a better grip on tools and the material. Especially working around, you know, power tools. You want to use gloves for protection. Next, you want to do your general outline of your whale's tail. With the coping saw, just follow it right on the outside, okay?
Okay.
Not on the line. You can go on the line, but you know, you could always take some off, but you can't add. So if you go just a little bit on the outside, you'll be all right. So clamp it in the vise. Let's take a look. Make your cut down this way first, okay?
Okay.
Just follow the outline. See, this one you have a lot more control over the cut and the curve. I mean, you know, when you start to curve over here on this, you know, you got a lot more control. You know, go slow and steady and not real hard, you know, to where you bend the blade.
I'm trying to.
You're going too hard. You're applying too much pressure down. You know, it's binding. Your blade is binding.
No.
So let me cut this other side to demonstrate, okay?
Okay.
See, you just go nice and slow, kind of lightly. Turn it a little bit more. Yeah. As you're cutting, you could turn it. Yeah. Okay, now turn it down. Yeah, yep. A little bit at a time. Don't fight your tool. You're fighting your tool. Don't fight it, just let the coping saw do the cutting. Your job is to just go back and forth easy and to follow your lines. Yeah, there you go. Just go back and forth. Because you're not ready to follow these curves. I mean, over time it'll come, but for now, I would clamp it on this side because of this cracks. I mean, it's gonna break off, and there goes your carving. This part is not part of your carving, so try to clamp it there. Follow it on the outside, but outside more than you went on that side. Yeah. And let me see. I think we'll use one of those. Yeah. This one is so old, it's not as tight anymore, so.
Oh, there's other blades as well if you need a finer blade.
Okay, yeah, if we get another blade, that'll be great too. Just a little bit at a time. Not a whole bunch, but just very lightly start to carve it. Okay, what you're trying to do at first is get your lines nice and even. So if you do a little bit at a time, each time, I mean, every now and then you gotta stop and look at it and make sure it's coming out even on both sides.
Okay. And you had it on before?
Yeah, something like that. 4 or 5 or whichever you're more comfortable at, carving. Over time, you'll find a speed that you like the best. Yeah, we'll probably use this. Yeah, you're getting there. Okay, let me do this part a little bit just to straighten it up.
Yeah.
This bit is so sharp, it wants to grab it too much at a high speed. So we'll just go that slow. Now you're getting to there's a fine part where this is too rough and too big. See, it's ever so subtle how it's forming and shaping where it's rounding off. You just need to start from the top and round them off. Look at it sideways and see how this is shaping from the top. You could start to round it off from the top. You have to look at it from this angle and sideways and from the back. As you can see from the back, you need to take some more off. So just go a little bit at a time. A little bit more. Okay. You're next. There's a loop over here.
Yeah.
To hang.
Yeah.
That is really thin, and you know it's gonna be even more thinner as you shape it out. I would suggest to put the hole over here.
Okay.
And then just get, you know, a small loop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you want, you could start to edge out. There's a flat part a little bit over here, especially on this side. See, just take this much off.
Okay.
And then so this edge won't be so sharp. You want to take just, here, let me demonstrate. You want to do that all over. See how I'm taking the rough edge off? Your next stage is a sanding stage to, you know, to smooth it out. We start with the 150, and then to 220, and then a 320. You gotta sand the whole thing, but don't over sand the shape out. See, like for instance, there's a fluke, has these lines. You just lightly sand. See, there's the outline of it. You just lightly sand the outline where you don't lose the shape of the whale's tail. When you get on the bottom of this, you want to make it curve because a whale's tail curves, you know. And so you want to sand this part more. Yeah, you want to take off this part more to try to make it curved. Okay, you see how just a little bit at a time you're going to start to taper it and then to round it. You're taking off, there's a marks from, there's 150 sandpaper. This is the 220. So if you could sand the whole thing, and then after you're satisfied that you have sanded it with the 220, you'll change over to a 320. Okay.
320.
Okay, then you're ready to buff. After sanding it with a fine sandpaper, and after looking over it, make sure there's no more saw or file marks, and that it's all sanded and smooth. And we're going to use to shine it is a white diamond compound that we apply to the buffing wheel, and we'll put this on the buffing wheel, which it'll shine. You absolutely have to hold it tight. We'll start with the low speed. Just let it buff all over. Stand, you know, right in front, yeah, where you're centered. You could look, yeah, and buff all surfaces, all angles of that whale's tail. And then just every now and then put some of this on. Yeah, there you go. And then as you're buffing, look and see, which parts need to be buffed, and see if you didn't do a good enough sanding job on the piece, this is where the marks will show up.
Okay.
So as you're buffing, and if you see marks, that's where you need to either sand it more or use a whole bunch of this and buff it harder.
Okay.
See, it's kind of shiny now, and you'll be able to see any file marks or saw marks, but I don't see any, so just keep on buffing. And
Okay. How will she know when she's done buffing?
when it's nice and shiny,
All over.
yeah. Nice and shiny. But to get it shinier, I'll use the high speed. Now this high speed is when it will grab, if you're not holding it tight enough, it'll grab your piece and let it slide. Now we're gonna make the grooves, so either a piece of leather or rawhide or string you could attach to a necklace piece, to hold it. We'll make 3 lines, and we'll use a file. Okay, this block is to hold it on this side. Okay, so if we make one indentation, you just make a little indentation. If you can make the next line,
I know. Wow, that's neat. Beautiful.